happens when you are being manipulated and coached into doing something that you're not necessarily 100% comfortable with? Would you say that the other person, in order to boost your confidence, would turn around and say, "You're gonna do great, sweetie"?
Hey, Gabby. This is a bit different for me personally.
I think you're going to do great.
Thank you.
Yes, that's right. We're going to be talking about the Inabber and Gabbie Hanna interview and why I feel that this is very calculated and very manipulative on the part of Gabbie Hanna. Right after this intro.
Most of these bitches is petty, 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 petty. Most of these bitches is petty.
Oh, hey guys, don't mind me. I'm just out here cleaning up other people's careers. Bitch! Yes, it's your girl, Paige, back at it again with yet another video for you hoes. It feels so good to be back in my natural space, to be back in my It feels so good to be back in my natural space, to be back in my natural habitat. Here with you guys to spill some tea. Now, I originally had a whole concept for doing my whole thoughts and theories on the R. Kelly documentary and what's been going on and the drama surrounding all of that. A lot of you guys have been asking for what my opinion is on that kind of thing. If you are still interested, I will leave a poll over here or over here somewhere on the top of the screen. I will leave a poll if you're interested in me talking about that. But today we are going to be talking about some very, very current drama, which is weird for me because I never ever get to the drama this early. Today we have a drama story pertaining to Gabbie Hanna and Inabber. Now this is weird because usually when I talk about other commentary channels, it's either glowing reviews or here for the tea and John cooking. Like seriously bitch, there's no in between. I either love you or I hate you. But today we're going to be talking about a very recent interview that was conducted between Inabber and Gabbie Hanna pertaining to the Kenza Cosmetics scandal that happened at the back end of last year. Now, as you guys know, I have spoken about Gabbie Hanna on this channel before, so I'm not going to be doing a 60-second rundown as to who the Gabbie show is. However, somebody new who I have not discussed on my channel before is Inabber, and I'll be breaking down who he is in 60 seconds. And yes, that's for you bitches who said last week that you didn't know who I was talking about and now apparently you want me to do 60-second rundowns like I used to. Okay bitch, I hear you. Inabber, real name Fraser, is a British YouTuber star with over 230,000 subscribers. He mainly is a commentary channel and he tends to do commentary videos. He's done videos on Zoella, Tana Moja, Logan Paul and Jake Paul, and anyone and anything that you would consider hot topics or current in terms of YouTube news. Inabber, real name Fraser McDonald, was born on January 29th, 1997, making him 21 years old, and also Aquarius. Interesting. He launched his channel in May 2010 and has actually become very good friends with a lot of other commentary channel YouTubers such as I'm Alex and It's Jack May. The most popular videos on his channel are the ones pertaining to Zoella. Those have boasted over 1 million views. Most notably is Why Zoella's Channel Died and also Zoella's Christmas Calendar Scam. Sounds a bit like Altoria. Inabber, aka Fraser, gained even more popularity when he was featured in the Jake Paul documentary series made by Shane Dawson, where Shane Dawson conducted an interview with Inabber, who he considered to have the most knowledge on the Jake Paul situation. Right, now that we've got all of that figured out, let's get straight into the drama. But it's not really drama, but into some stuff that I want to talk about. Okay, so if you don't know exactly what's been going on with the whole Kenza Cosmetics scandal, I will give you guys a very, very brief rundown as to what happened. If you want to know what happened, definitely go and check out Good Judy T-Spill's channel. She's got everything there, anything that you could possibly want to know in regards to the Kenza Cosmetics scandal, who is involved, etc, etc, etc. So basically, what happened was various different YouTubers, most notably Gabbie Hanna and Tana Moja, have been promoting what we are calling at this moment a scam. Basically, a company by the name of Kenza Cosmetics were giving out free brushes to all customers, and all you had to do was spend $10 on shipping.
Ton of promotions on my Instagram story, but this company Kenza Cosmetics is giving away their makeup brushes for free from 2018 while supplies last, and I figured it's free stuff. Why wouldn't I tell you guys? All you have to pay is shipping. Here are some of the 2018 styles that they're trying to get rid of to make room for 2019. I love these ones, these marble ones. Cute with that little fluffy brushes. Yes. So make sure to swipe up because that is where the link is available.
Well, it turns out a lot of people didn't get their brushes, and people who did get their brushes state that the quality of the brushes is not what they expected. Because on the Kenza Cosmetics website, it shows that some of these brushes they were saying were supposed to retail for $80. But the quality of brush they actually received was nowhere near $80, and some people were able to find the same quality brushes, the same off-brand brushes on websites like AliExpress for literally like $2.50 a pack. Not only that, the delivery time on these brushes was severely excessive. It actually went to a delivery time frame of 2 to 3 weeks, and that's since been changed on the Kenza Cosmetics website to up to 3 months for delivery. To top that off, a lot of people ended up having to pay customs charges when the items arrived in the designated country. So what was supposed to be $10 makeup brushes with a value of up to $80 ended up being close to $30, $40 makeup brushes that weren't even worth $2.50 for a pack of 10. As you can imagine, there was a massive uproar on social media. Everybody got really peed off that people such as Tana Moja and Gabbie Hanna had been promoting this company without doing their due diligence. To make sure that the company was legit and the products that people would be receiving is legit too. In response to this, Gabbie Hanna then went on to make a video which was not received very well, where she did a get ready with me with sponsorships that she had actually turned down, as a way of saying, hey look, I could have scammed you further, but I didn't.
I think that they're worth about $1 a brush, and that's why I felt okay advertising that to my followers, because unlike these and so many others, like these are plastic, hard, shitty brushes. These are actually very soft, movable, fluffy brushes that, in my opinion, blend very well. Now, are they these amazing, high quality, can't even believe it, great brushes? No. I also never said they were. What I said they were was free brushes, and all you had to pay for was shipping.
The key phrase in that whole entire get ready with me was when she turned around and said, manage your expectations. That drove a bunch of people completely out of their mind. And what was Gabbie Hanna's house of cards came tumbling down.
So I'm not sure what quality people were expecting when they paid $10 for 10 brushes. And I'm genuinely sorry if anybody got their product and was disappointed in the product. But I would also add, manage your expectations a little bit. Because if you want really high quality brushes, you're going to pay a really high quality price. If you want to pay $10 for brushes, then expect to get some pretty useful run-of-the-mill brushes.
Right, so now that we've covered a recap of pretty much what happened and why everyone's pissed off and why everybody's up in arms, something happened on social media yesterday that nobody was expecting. Inabber, who was one of many commentary channels who had spoken on the Kenza Cosmetics story. There are several such as, you know, the drama channel regulars like Nick Schneider, T-Spill, etc, etc. Dustin Daly, I think, covered it as well. But also because I think the commentary scene was kind of dead at that moment in time, as in terms of interesting stories going on at the time. Commentary channels such as Angelika Oles, Inabber, and Markie all decided to do videos on this exact same topic, and the story pretty much blew up. I think everybody got extremely good views from those videos. So yeah, back to the narrative. Inabber decided to do an interview with Gabbie Hanna. This was a very in-depth, 1 hour long interview, and he did a really good job. He asked some fantastic questions, but I fucking hated it. Now, before I get into why I hated it and why I personally feel like Inabber was being used in this situation, I'm going to make a disclaimer and preface it by saying this. I am a big fan of Inabber. I think I've been supporting him since when he was around 40 to 60,000 subscribers in 2017. I've watched his channel grow and I love his success. However, if we feel that critique-based commentary channels are exempt from critique themselves, then this is not the place for you. I'm not exempt from critique. He's not exempt from critique. We are all not exempt from critique. This is not a situation where I want Inabber fans coming to attack me, and I do not want my subscribers to go forth and prosper in his comment section either. This is not what it's about. This is just critique. I hope that that makes sense, and I don't know why I'm doing all of this with my hands. I would like to preface it by also saying that I have spoken to Inabber in DMs also, and he has said to me that he is happy for me to make this video. And not only that, he is interested to hear what I have to say, regardless of whether it is positive or negative. I can't work out whether I'm voguing. Am I voguing? Just so we have this clear, me and Inabber are fine, everything is good, nobody needs to fight, I'm just going to say commentary, please don't at me, cause I ain't about that life, bitch. Oh, I dabbed. So the bulk of my critique here is really going to be aimed towards Gabbie Hanna. However, I am going to give one critique I think it's the only one I've got for him, but the only piece of critique that I will say for this interview in particular is just the way that he represented commentary channels. Now, once Inabber found out that I and maybe some other people were going to be making videos critiquing this, he went onto his community tab on YouTube and decided to leave a very lengthy paragraph, which I will leave somewhere on the screen, basically saying that he will go in depth further in another video and clarifying a bunch of information. But one of the things that I did pick up on is that he said somewhere in there something along the lines of, and I'm just paraphrasing right now because I can't be asked grabbing my phone, he said that he would be explaining in detail why Gabbie Hanna had referenced commentary channels as hate channels. Anyway, my one piece of critique for Fraser is that he was not very mindful when it came to presenting his imagery behind certain words. For instance, there was 2 separate occasions in the video, and I will try and find the clips and include it in this video as well, where either Fraser or Gabbie were talking about hate channels or negative critique or anything that had any kind of negative connotations in terms of commentary. When those things were being spoken of, for some bizarre reason, Angelika Oles' face was being put up.
So given that a lot of people believed that they were scams, people started coming out and making their own videos, commentators started coming out and basically complaining and attacking Gabbie Hanna, and eventually Gabbie Hanna actually responded to all of the criticism, all of the people that were genuinely upset with her for good reason.
Now, I'm not very sure whether this was intentional or whether this was something that he didn't really think about and just wanted some footage to go behind it. We've all seen with the Shane Dawson docu-series where he used really tasteless imagery behind some of the words that he was saying and presented a narrative that may have been somewhat distorted. I think that's the exact same thing that happened when he presented Angelika Oles' face when speaking about negative things surrounding commentary and hate channels, and when it was anything positive or anything that was directly related to the specific person, such as Markie or PewDiePie, who were both referenced in the video also, whereas on the flip side, he only ever showed Markie's face in the video when he was directly talking about Markie and Markie's video.
I saw that they were out there, like I saw somebody named Markie posted one, but I didn't actually watch the video.
Right now, I'm drinking a real Red Bull. A real Red Bull. And if you want help understanding how much of a big deal that is to me, that's probably the same equivalent of Gabbie Hanna getting paid thousands of dollars to promote a scam. So I mean, I'm really living life right now.
That's one thing that I found extremely irritating, because I think from an outsider's perspective, if you didn't know everything that had been going on around the Kenza Cosmetics scandal, if you hadn't watched Angelika Oles' video, you would instantly think that she was the hate channel that was being spoken about.
Because a YouTuber recently came out called Angelika Oles. She basically started saying that you're a bully because, and your fans are bullies, because basically somebody commented hate on one of your photos or something, and you screenshotted it and put it on your story,
you would instantly think that she's a negative bad person, and I just don't think that's an accurate representative of what it is that Angelika Oles said and did on her channel. Yes, she is very blunt, and I will admit that, but that's probably one of the things I like about her channel. But she tells the truth and she shoots the shit. She says it how she means it. And she's not adverse to giving positive critique either. In fact, in the Gabbie Hanna video that she made originally, she did give some positive critiques, such as this.
Half of them, I'm going to disagree with some people here and defend Gabbie, I guess, because I am still an objective human being who can look at things from an objective point of view.
So that's it. I think that's the only thing I have negative or any kind of negative critique to say about Frasier. Other than that, literally everything else is going to fall onto the lap of Gabbie Hanna. And it's not because I'm a Gabbie Hanna hater. I was very supportive, probably more so supportive of her with the rice gun scandal that happened last year. I was very supportive of her, probably to my detriment. I got a lot of hate on that video. But I will always maintain the notion that no matter how much everybody might feel like she over-exaggerated or embellished the truth when it came to that story, the fact remains that Rice Gum did touch her, and a guy should never touch a girl without her explicit consent. He literally grabbed her and then threw her phone on the floor. So no, that's bullshit. But anyway, moving on to the rest of my points. The one thing I want to stress at this point, before I go further, is that I believe that this interview situation that happened between herself and Inabber was extremely calculated and manipulative. There are several points for this reason. The first one is that she reached out to Inabber. Now the story is from Inabber that I've been told in DMs, and I think it was a part of the video as well, is that Gabbie Hanna knew somebody who mutually was friends with Inabber, and she'd seen his stuff previously and reached out to him. My question is, what is the motivation for Gabbie Hanna to reach out to Inabber if she didn't think that he could come and clean up her mess? To me, it just seems like a weird way to have gone about everything. And I'm just gonna be straight up and honest and upfront with you guys. I feel like this whole entire situation was a PR cleanup situation. I feel like Inabber was somewhat used because I feel like Gabbie Hanna knew her intentions before reaching out to Inabber. She knew of his abilities and the fact that he was the least critical out of all of the commentary channels who would discuss the Kenza Cosmetics scandal. And also my other question was, why did she choose him above everybody else? Now, before anybody gets into it and goes,
oh my god, Paige, you're just so jealous of Inabber, you just want to be him.
No, bitch. I never covered the Kenza Cosmetics story, so I don't for one second believe that I should have been the person to conduct that interview, and neither do I think I should, because I know a little something about makeup, probably more than Inabber does, but I don't know makeup, like no makeup. And I just kind of felt like there was various different other commentary channels and drama channels that could have possibly have taken on this interview. Now, the only reason I'm saying not T-Spill isn't because T-Spill couldn't conduct a badass interview. It's just that I feel like a lot of people wanted to see her facial expressions and her raw, naked reaction. And because T-Spill is a text-based channel, I don't really think that that's something that they could have done or executed efficiently. Unless they want to do a voice reveal, we never know. But I mean, there was Rich Lux, there was Nick Schneider, Angelika Oles, there's loads of people who have a decent to strong knowledge of the makeup industry and how it works. I mean, there's Here for the Tea, for Christ's sake. She would have let her have it and asked all of the hard questions that we definitely wanted to hear.
And also somebody who would ask the appropriate follow-up questions. I kind of felt like he had really good questions, like base questions to start with, but then after she gave her answer, he didn't ask the relevant follow-up questions that I felt were necessary, especially like bypassing and missing the whole manage your expectations situation. I feel like that was completely glazed over, because I think the reason that she was saying to manage your expectations was because the quality of the brushes did not reflect the price point that Kenza Cosmetics had actually put on the website, which was $80. So she was telling people to manage their expectations, kind of like, what did you expect for $10? But if it was somebody who understood the makeup industry a little bit more, then maybe they could have assessed the quality of the makeup brushes and had a more more in-depth conversation on that and why she felt it was acceptable for people to spend $10 on $2.50 packs of makeup brushes. But I feel like that was something that was completely glazed over purely because Inabber just simply doesn't have the knowledge of the makeup industry in that way.
So it's just confusing to me that out of all of the people who understand the situation, who know the situation, she chooses not only the commentary channel that gave her the least amount of critique or who was a little bit more light-handed in terms of their critique, but also the one with the least knowledge of the makeup industry. I mean, this isn't just me saying this. Inabber has prefaced this in 2 of his videos. Take a look.
Now, Kenza Cosmetics are a makeup company. They sell brushes, they sell makeup. I don't know absolutely anything about makeup. So if you're expecting me to go all James Charles on this video, I'm not. I'm Sister Nabs, but Sister Nabs knows absolutely nothing about makeup.
So once again, why Inabber? I know the one thing that's going to be thrown back at me is,
she didn't watch any of the other videos, so how would she have been able to choose anyone besides somebody that she knows?
well, if she wasn't aware of the videos that were made about her around that time, then why did she tag Markie and Angelika Oles in her tags when she was doing her get ready with me, let me show you how I could have scammed you more video?
And I do want to quickly say, before I do prove any of her points wrong and then people use the excuse of like, oh, maybe she was talking about someone else. Like, my name is one of like 3 names in the tags and it's the first one there. So I'm going to take this as it is pretty much a response to my video and other people's videos as well. So I'm going to combat it with the points I've already made, if that makes sense.
I don't know, just shit's not adding up and shit's just not making sense to me, bitch. Because she says she didn't watch commentary channels and she didn't watch commentary YouTube videos, and the only commentary YouTube channel that she was kind of in the loop with was Inabber. Wasn't necessarily true. Was it, Gabbie Hanna? Because not only did she leave tags that referenced the videos that were made about her at the time, she's also in the past had run-ins with other commentary YouTube channels. I remember I was watching it and I was just so confused because I was very sure that I'd saw an interaction with her and another channel, and it made me think. Like, I swear to God, bitch was having a Raven Simone moment.
As many of you know, me and Gabbie Hanna have had a mild buildup of tension when she was watching my unpopular opinions video and came across this. Number 8. Gabbie Hanna's music is absolute garbage. Her fans overhype her when she can barely hold a note, and she's always out of tune. She then took to her Insta Snap to address it.
The hardest part about being a YouTuber is when you're just when you're just like casually watching and binging YouTube and then the person just starts like talking shit on you and you're like, oh yeah, this is my space. This kid's videos on autoplay as I was getting ready, and all of a sudden I'm brushing my teeth and I hear number 9, Gabbie Hanna's music is trash. Her fans overhype her and she's always out of tune, and I was like, damn! It's fine. Like, I'm not like upset that he doesn't like my music. It's just like funny because I forget sometimes that I'm a YouTuber and that like YouTubers talk about YouTubers, so I'll just be watching videos casually.
And also commented on that video. Then furthermore put me in her video.
First, I was watching videos on autoplay, and sometimes I forget that as a YouTuber, people will comment on my life on YouTube. So I was watching a video of unpopular opinions, and I just hear in the background.
Number 8. Gabbie Hanna's music is absolute garbage. Her fans overhype her when she can barely hold a note, and she's always out of tune.
And I laughed about it genuinely. I thought it was funny. Didn't really think much of it.
Yes, so there was a commentary YouTuber by the name of Honest, or It's Honest Boy if you know him from Twitter. He is a YouTuber whose videos I very, very much enjoy. I definitely suggest that you guys check it out. He is a voiceover commentary YouTuber, and it turns out about 3 months ago, Gabbie Hanna was watching his videos. In fact, she was watching it so regularly that she was letting it play in the background while she was getting on with other tasks. Turns out that she was very shocked and stunned to find out that she was one of the people who was referenced in his very popular unpopular opinions video. He basically said that he didn't like Gabbie Hanna's music and that she had a terrible voice. Ouch. So this is 3 months ago. We are talking literally in November. So, sweetie, you very much are aware of people who are doing commentary on YouTube. In fact, I would say that you probably watch the commentary YouTube community quite frequently. You just don't like it when the critique is aimed at you. So unless this decision not to watch YouTube and to be in a complete YouTube blackout was something that's happened in the past 3 months, I would go as far as to say as you were very familiar with what the hell was going down, sweetie.
Okay, first of all, I don't watch videos about me, ever.
So I thought I should go to congratulate her on this new song, and I said, "You know I'm a tough critic of yours, but this is a banger, Gabbie. This is the improvement I wanted to see. This should have been your debut. I can tell you actually put your heart into this. It's a good song. Congrats." And she responded to me by saying, "You know what's funny is when I put out new shit, I low-key think I wonder if Honest would fuck with this. Because I actually respect your opinion so much. You're raw and don't follow the crowd, but you're generally not an asshole about it. While I don't agree with you always, a lot of the shit you say is backed up with logic and critical thinking. So the compliment means a lot. Much more like this to come." And I think that was really dope of her. Even when I basically trashed her artistry and discography, she gave me my props, and I respect her so much for that.
Another thing that I didn't like about this interview was how one section was completely glazed over, and it was actually a piece of information that I had no knowledge about, which kind of goes to show that if you don't represent the entire story in its entirety, then people can be misled. So basically, Inabber asked us some questions about a situation that happened on Instagram, where somebody had left a negative comment on her Instagram post, and basically they just kind of glazed over what was said between the young lady and Gabbie Hanna in DMs, and just talked about the overall situation and the fact that Gabbie Hanna shouldn't have put the young lady on blast and definitely should have apologized.
Personally, I don't think you can do that when you have like such a big subscriber count.
No,
like,
you can't. And
Yeah.
I agree with that. That's why I deleted it pretty fucking quickly. I remember actually pretty clearly about that situation because I deleted it pretty quickly because I realized how fucked up it was. Because again, it's just one of those things like where you like forget the influence. And I remember the way I posted it to my story. I was trying to do it in a way where I was like I was like pretending like I was being the bigger person, but I was not. Does that make sense? Like I was saying it in a way where it was like, I haven't seen the video and I haven't seen the screenshots or anything, but I remember being just like, you know, there's no need to be negative, like fight, like if you're hurting inside, like I hope you feel better. Like it was something along the lines of like, I'm gonna be the bigger person, and it was not. It was horrible because then of course my followers are gonna go attack her. And that's why I took it down, and I felt really bad about it, like awful. And then we had a conversation about it where, because I saw she was still in the comments after that whole thing happened, and she was in the comments, and then what kind of triggered me a little bit was, and like this isn't me defending myself, but the story was she was saying that I was anorexic and promoting negative body image. And it took me like a long time to get over my eating disorder. So at that time I hate doing, like, I'm not playing the victim, people.
When I initially heard this story, I thought this is an honest mistake to make. And not just that, like me personally, if I get a negative comment or a negative critique, I'm not usually that bothered. But if somebody's gonna come at me and say some racist shit, that usually gets me a little bit annoying. So I will put them on blast on my social media and feed them to the lions, bitch. I don't care. Let them have it. But in this situation, it was very, very obvious to me that this entire topic was completely glazed over. And the reason they glazed over this entire topic was because it actually made Gabbie Hanna look in a very negative light. Because when I went to search for this story, you know, just to get a little bit of a breadth and depth of understanding as to what happened between Gabbie Hanna and this young lady, it turns out that the text messages that went between these two people were not only disgusting, but Gabbie Hanna came across like a really disgustingly rude, condescending, horrible person. And even, I'd go as far as to say, she slut-shamed the young lady by talking about people having choices over the provocative photos that she takes. I don't know, I just felt like it was completely and utterly out of order. And if the DMs between this young lady and Gabbie Hanna were shared publicly, I think people would have a different public perspective of Gabbie Hanna, which is also once again leading me to believe that this was a PR cleanup situation rather than somebody wanting to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Sorry about it, bitch.
So apparently the situation started after Gabbie posted a series of similar pictures, And the fan commented saying, "No, we're really not wondering how full of yourself you are to keep posting multiple selfies of the same thing." Then Gabbie posted this saying, "Wow, some of these people are out here really upset when they see someone confident and loving themselves." Gabbie's fans attacked her, sent her death threats, just the whole thing, you know.
I don't even want to read them, but I'll put them up in a little slideshow for you guys. All the hate DMs that the girl who commented under Gabbie's picture has been receiving from Gabbie fans. So let's go.
Then the girl who got bombarded by Gabbie fans sent Gabbie a personal DM saying, "Gabbie, it's not that I don't think you're confident. I think you're sending a weird message about self-love. Like you didn't like your body so you changed it. But that's not really accepting yourself. I didn't mean to be disrespectful, I'm just a blunt person. The last kid you did this to and stick to your people on, I'm pretty sure ended up being bullied by your fans. More than he deserved when all he was doing was trolling and commented, 'You're fat,' which you could have ignored. That to me shows your true side. I used to be a fan of yours, but I didn't like some of the messages you were telling people. I didn't mean disrespect, it was only my opinion." Gabbie responded by saying, "Opinions are bullying, love." She lost me at that first sentence. Opinions are not bullying or hate. She goes on to say, "Telling me I'm full of myself on a photo where I feel confident and sexy is bullying. It's literally not. Opinions and hate are not mutually exclusive. Example, a certain race or sexual orientation is disgusting. That can be your opinion, that doesn't mean it's not hate." See, now she's contradicting herself. Opinions can be hate if you say something in a certain way about a specific thing, but opinions themselves are not hate. For example, if I say, "Hey, you look good today," that's an opinion, which is not even remotely hate or bullying. If I said, "You're a fat, ugly cunt, you should kill yourself," that's hate or bullying. She then says, "At the end of the day, you posted a hate comment, period." It wasn't a hate comment. I posted what you said with a positive tone, wishing you happiness and confidence to show people how you should respond to hate. She was literally passive aggressive. That was so passive aggressive, like she always is when responding to stuff. You don't have to be negative towards people telling someone they're full of themselves for what? Posting beautiful pictures of themselves that they're proud of, something they were so nervous to show the world. Are you full of yourself for posting the same underwear pics over and over? I don't think so, and I hope someone doesn't try to tell you otherwise. Fill your heart with love and positivity. Have a good night." And the girl responded saying, "Honestly, Gabbie, why don't you go make another fucking video about it and go be overdramatic because that's the only thing you're good at." And Gabbie responded saying, "I rest my case. Hope you find happiness, truly." I think this was blown so out of proportion. Gabbie was so overdramatic. If she didn't like the comment that bad, she could have just blocked them and kept her day going. The girl didn't say anything hateful. She's practically saying she's tired of seeing Gabbie post the same thing. For Gabbie to blast her was extremely unnecessary. Shows how overdramatic she really is.
So the next part of this interview that I really honestly just could not stand was the fact that Gabbie Hanna basically said that she didn't know her influence. She didn't have any understanding of her influence, and when she hears the number 6 million subscribers, she doesn't really think about the number, she doesn't really realize the number, and you know, now this whole situation has made her realize how much influence she has. Bitch. I'm calling bullshit. And the reason I'm calling bullshit is simply because you have said previously in this video that you are your own manager. You don't have management. You don't have people sorting out these kind of situations for you. You don't have people checking the company over and vetting them before you have an opportunity to work with them. And you're beginning to realize now that that's something that you need, meaning that you're your own manager.
It's also made me realize, like, I need to stop, like, doing this shit on my own. Like, realistically, I'm not an expert on this shit. Like, I should have a manager who's doing this shit, and then if you don't, you make dumbass fucking mistakes like this, and then you hurt people that trust you.
Highly unusual for a channel of your size that you wouldn't have any kind of management, but that means that when a company comes to you, a company such as Kenza Cosmetics or anything like that, that means that you have already put a monetary value on your influence. You understand your influence. You understand your cross-platform influence. You have to understand your cross-platform influence and your influence in general in order to put a number on how much you should be getting for that influence.
Okay, like, I see a lot of comments about, like, don't act like you didn't know the influence you had, and, like, don't act like you didn't know that, like, there's 6 million people, like, watching you. But, like, this situation reminded me that, because obviously I can walk around and be like, yeah, I have 6.5 million subscribers, but you can't really, that number's not real, if that makes sense. And
your influence became a financial commodity, something in essence that you could generate extra revenue from. Therefore, you know your influence. From the time you're able to put a number on your influence, you know what your influence is. From the moment you can say, hi, 7,000, 8,000, 12,000, 30,000, or however much it is that you're charging for your influence, you're aware of how much your influence costs. You are aware of how much your influence means to these companies. So once you make your influence a financial commodity, you know your influence. Do not bullshit me. You know your influence. Don't piss on my face and then tell me it's raining. Okay, so towards the end of the video, Inabber basically poses the question to Gabbie Hanna, do you feel like you were scammed by Kenza Cosmetics? To which she reacted in a very strange way. Take a look.
Do you think that you kind of got scammed by Kenza? Because we spoke about this briefly yesterday, and I was wondering what your whole thoughts are with, just in general, how they treated you in the situation.
I try not to use the word scam because there's so many like legal loopholes to it, but I feel like they definitely misled me. I feel like they, you know what? No, like they told me that all the shit that I was sending them wasn't true. And yeah.
So you were lied to. You were definitely lied to by Kenza.
Yeah, because like I literally am looking at the DMs, like this girl says people buy their products, they never get the email and stuff, and I sent it to them and they're just like, this sounds so weird. First of all, don't worry, we can prove all orders with proof of shipping, blah, 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 blah. And there's like this long email saying, we take this very seriously, our image is so important to us, you know, we've been nothing but professional. And like, see, I'm getting like nervous talking like this because it sounds like I'm trying to blame Kenza, but like, dude.
Now, I understand the fact that Gabbie Hanna may have been severely misled by Kenza Cosmetics, and when people were bringing in their queries and their problems to her and she was sending it to Kenza Cosmetics, they were combating it with, you should believe us, why do you believe these people? The point is that Gabbie Hanna made a choice. She chose to believe the company over her subscribers. She chose to believe that people were being mean to her than the fact that the company may have been taking liberties with how gullible or how ignorant she may have been. But that was a choice she made. So when she sat down and made a video and made this condescending, self-righteous video, which was manage your expectations, and honestly, people are just like blowing this whole thing out of proportion situation, then as far as I'm concerned, you're cancelled. You cancelled your goddamn self. Because in that very moment, you decided to take the word of a multinational company versus the word of your subscribers, your supporters, people who have been watching your channel, people who are blindly following you, people who are only here in support of you. You chose not to listen to their voices, that their voices was not valuable to you in that very moment in time, but that the company knows best. You made that decision. So don't sit here and give me this whole spiel at the end of it that you were scammed by Kenza Cosmetics. Kenza Cosmetics is a trash company. It was up to you to decipher how trash they were, and it was up to you that when you found out that they were trash, that you really listened to the people who put you in the affluent position that you have been put in today. You chose not to listen to the people who were putting the money in your pocket for this deal, for this collaboration. You chose that. So don't give me no bullshit of, I was scammed by Kenza Cosmetics too, guys. I'm like one of you. No, you weren't. You're not like the rest of them. Do you know what? For some people, Gabbie Hanna, that was probably their last $10. For some people, they really thought they were going to get something high quality to start off or kickstart their makeup career, and that didn't happen for them. You let them down. What might be a small amount of money and manage your expectations to you might be everything to somebody else. And I do think that Fraser is 100% right when he says you are out of touch, because I feel like you are completely out of touch with what other people's realities may be. And that's the real tea. One part of this entire interview, something that Gabbie Hanna said that honestly, like, I could not stop laughing when I heard it, was that she turned around and she said, one thing I've always been prided on and one thing that other people has always commented on is that I am so good at taking constructive criticism.
I've always prided myself, and like people in my life prided me on, like, you're so good at taking constructive criticism.
Bitch, where? Bitch, where? Gabbie Hanna, you are the worst at taking constructive criticism. You suck at taking constructive criticism. Anybody has anything to say about Gabbie Hanna, she is literally going on a tirade of how she is a victim, how she is getting bullied, how she cannot take it, how the fame is too much. Oh God, bitch, you are the worst, the worst person at taking constructive criticism. And I wish that Frasier had clocked you on that, because I was just like, really, bitch? You're gonna sit there and say you're good at taking constructive criticism, bitch? Nah. And this is the thing, Gabbie Hanna, you say that you want to be a music star, that you want to be a singer, that you really want to take this singing gig seriously, that you want to be able to be a performer, but performers get critique. There are people on the internet who say Rihanna's last album was trash. There are people on the web saying that Beyonce looks fat. There are people on the internet saying that R. Kelly is a pedophile. Well, that last one's true. There are people across the internet who say complete trash about all of the biggest celebrities and music stars and artists of that nature. If you cannot handle it from such a very small community like YouTube and the internet, how the fuck are you going to handle it on a multinational level? Every person who says that Rihanna had a bad album or Rihanna did a bad performance, do you hear Rihanna clapping back and being like, bitch, you don't know? Or being condescending and saying stuff like, oh, it's so sad that people won't let me live, and all I try and do is be an advocate for body positivity. I'm just trying to live my best life, but people keep attacking me. No, they don't. They keep it pushing. No press is bad press. Like, it's all the same shit, boo. So you really, really need to develop some thicker skin, honey, because it honestly seems to me like you just cannot take any criticism at all. And every single time there is any kind of critique, it ends up being a long-ass video like the one you made, and this time followed by a PR cleanup from a commentary channel. That's how it feels. Like, one of the things that keeps being presented in this whole thing is Tana Moja isn't getting as much hate because Tana Moja gets the gigs, girl. She knows that people are gonna say all of this stuff about her on the internet, and she's either gonna keep it pushing because she wants to make her money regardless of whether the company is a scam or not, or she's gonna apologize and keep it rolling and say, you know what, I know I'm a garbage human being, you should have known this already, enable me. But at least she lives in her fucking truth, instead of sitting there and then constantly trying to make excuses for their behavior all the time. She knows she's garbage and she says, yeah, I'm kind of trash. And I kind of respect that a billion times more than somebody making excuses for why they did or said certain things. Okay, so in the video's finale, after the whole option of Kenza Cosmetics scammed Gabbie Hanna 2 is proposed, she also makes a comment of how can she solve or change this situation? How can she make it better? And Frasier, and rightly so, turns around and says that there is not really much you can do because it's Kenza Cosmetics that dealt with all of these orders, so it shouldn't actually be up to you to solve the situation. It should be up to Kenza Cosmetics, but you can apologize and try and move on.
And I've also been trying to think of ways that I can personally make it better, and I have been talking to like other people, and I don't have like a team that does this shit, so like logistically I'm trying to figure out like, okay, how would I track down these people? How can I prove that this isn't someone just stealing screenshots from somebody else? How can I like actually make this better to people? And I'm still trying to like figure that out. And I almost posted something on Instagram about it where I'm like, listen, I'm trying to figure out how to fix it, but then I didn't because I was like, I'm gonna make it worse for myself and I don't know how I'm gonna fix it yet. So like,
I think that's great, but that's no kind of conflict resolution that I would like to see. For instance, a positive solution to this whole entire thing, a very selfless solution to this whole entire thing for me personally, which would make me have a little bit more faith in Gabbie Hanna, is if she did not profit from this situation. A scam company that she endorsed scammed her subscribers. scammed her fans, scammed her supporters. So instead of generating revenue from that scam and pocketing the sum from that collaboration that she did with Kenza Cosmetics, which by the way she did not disclose, but that's a whole different kind of conversation. Personally speaking, I think this is so unethical. I think it is so unethical for her to have made revenue from something that hurt her people, that hurt her subscribers. So I think it would be a great idea if she decided to give that money that she generated from that collaboration to a charity and just say, I fucked up, I'm so sorry, but at least this money is going to good use. And ultimately taking a stand with her subscribers against Kenza Cosmetics. That for me would be the kind of conflict resolution that I would love to see from Gabbie Hanna. But I just don't think enough YouTubers are that selfless. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen. But the idea that Gabbie Hanna has still profited from something that was allegedly, even though I don't really feel like it's alleged, a scam, is something that I don't think is fair to her subscribers. And I think it's something that really shows her character that that wasn't the first thing that she was willing to give up when trying to make it better. And like, one last thing. I know that Fraser said that he's going to be doing another video to clear up some things that possibly weren't talked about in the original video, but I just don't understand why he's cleaning up certain information and misconceptions that may have been taken away from that video and not Gabbie Hanna. It kind of feels like the responsibility, because of this video, has been shifted onto Fraser instead of it being with the original person. If anything, this entire situation shows me that Gabbie Hanna is extremely good at giving an interview, but absolutely shocking at apologies, because that's the one thing we're yet to see, is a adequate, not even like marginally okay, but an adequate apology. And I just don't take that interview, I'm sorry to my subscribers, as a proper apology. I need something formal, but maybe I'm just being like nitpicky now. Anyway, that's about it from me. There are plenty of other pieces of information that I could delve into, but honestly this video is already so long, so I feel like it's only going to make it an hour-long recap of everything that happened in the video, which nobody's got time for that, bitch.
Yes, guys, I see the irony. I know how long this video already is. I just wasn't expecting it when I was filming it. God damn. I try and do short 20-minute videos and they end up being an hour long. I'm so sorry. But hi.
But I'd really love to know what it is that you guys think. What was your initial reaction when watching the video? And what is your subsequent reaction after watching my video? Do you agree with any of my points? Do you disagree with any of my points? Let's have a constructive argument in the comment section down below. Also, as per always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like it, if you don't, I don't give a shit anyway. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification with the bell so that you guys get a notification every single time that Petty Paige posts new content. I personally think that Fraser did a really good job of this interview. I just felt like there was other candidates who could have executed it just that tiny little bit better with that extra bit of knowledge on the beauty industry. I also believe that it was extremely manipulative and calculating of Gabbie Hanna to have chosen Inabber to have taken on this story, because she knew it was never going to be as harsh or as demanding as some of the other critique-based channels. I do believe that Gabbie Hanna is a continuous liar and definitely does embellish the truth on stories sometimes, and this is something that I've seen as a character reference throughout her entire YouTube career, so I'm kind of inclined to keep that mindset about her. But I do not, however, think that it was her intention to go out of her way to scam people. I don't think that's what she wanted to do at any point. I think it's something that went left and she handled it incorrectly. And in essence, she should apologize. But that is just my humble opinion. And don't take my opinion for it, because I'm just petty. Bye, bitches.